Hello everyone! Do you like yeast buns with cheese? In this video I want to offer you an easy and simple recipe cheese buns. Today will be very tasty pastries from yeast dough with cheese. Let's bake homemade yeast buns with cheese in the oven. Well, are you ready? This yeast pastry from pastry has a very delicate taste. I use in this recipe Dutch cheese, but you can use Italian cheese or French. These cheese buns can be a real dinner decoration. For the weekend, I think that the guests will not even leave crumbs on the plates. First, let's prepare the cheese for the buns. I will use it as a filling. For such rich yeast buns I usually use fatty hard cheese. Cheese products are not suitable here because they contain there is little protein and therefore does not melt well when the buns are in the oven. In addition, the cheese product usually contains unhealthy palm oil. So don't skimp, use real French or Italian cow's milk cheese. It's good fermented, healthy protein product. Now let's get down to cutting the sweet yeast dough. In this recipe for cheese buns or bagels I use sweet yeast dough. How to cook it, you can see on my channel. A detailed recipe. There is a video about German Stollen. You can see the detailed proportions of the desired ingredients for such a rich yeast dough in the description of this video. I divided the dough into two parts. Roll out each piece into a patty about 5 mm thick. Knead the dough soft, don't add too much flour. In this case, the buns will be fluffy and very soft. If the dough is a little sticky when cutting, dust it lightly with flour. Now let's add cheese. I evenly cover the dough with a layer of grated cheese and make a roll. If you love green vegetables, you can add it to the cheese. But chop green vegetables with a sharp knife. How to wrap buns cheese. Cheese roll cut into long stripes. Let's make a roll from each such strip of dough with cheese. Now I will cover the yeast cheese buns with food-grade polyethylene and send them to a warm place for fermentation. This process takes approximately 30 to 40 minutes. Now let's do egg water. Combine the egg yolk with 2 tablespoons of warm milk. Brush each cheese bun with egg water using a silicone brush. Leave the buns outside for 10 minutes before baking. The egg yolk will dry slightly on the surface. Buns and cheese buns will be shiny. Let's bake buns. The temperature in the oven is 170 degrees Celsius or 340 degrees Fahrenheit. Baking time 20 to 25 minutes. Finally, sweet yeast buns with cheese are ready. Let's taste. I recommend baking these yeast buns with cheese for the weekend. It will be a great addition to lunch. I hope my video was helpful and informative. Don't forget to share the recipe on your social media page. By the way, feel free to include it in the comments of this video. Please be sure to like this video and like and subscribe with a notification for next video.